Hello. Hi. Okay, I have the most makeshift setup, so hopefully it doesn't fall again. But let's like keep cleansing the energy. Here, let me get some more smoke going. But anyways, hi. I'm Sunny. And this is Thought Vomit YouTube edition. I got a lot of requests to post on YouTube, so I think that YouTube might be more accessible to a lot of people. So um, here I am, posted on YouTube. I'm gonna cleanse the space a little bit, cleanse you a little bit. Hopefully you feel better. No bad vibes, no energies that no longer serve you, no energies that no longer serve me. We're in our highest timeline here, guys. Okay. Okay, so today I'm smoking on cookie dough. Not actual cookie dough, but like, the strain cookie dough. So I really like cookie dough because it has like such a relaxing, not, okay, I don't want to say relaxing. I want to say, I described it as mental clarity. Like, I feel like my brain is very clear when I smoke cookie dough. So I think that it's like the perfect strain to use to talk about philosophy and spirituality. And I'm a little nervous because I've been having this tickle in my throat, which has caused me to have major coughing fits when smoking. So I made cookie dough into an edible. So I've been using the edible instead. But, in Thought Vomit, we smoke together. So I'm going to smoke. And also, I don't feel like waiting for the edible to kick in. So we're going to see how this goes. Hopefully, I don't cough my lungs out on screen and ruin the video, but I guess we're gonna see. I got my water here. Get your water, guys, okay? Make sure you're drinking your water. If you're smoking with me, especially, make sure you're drinking your water. Okay. So today I wanted to talk about like right and wrong. Actually, hold on, let's take a hit. Oh, okay, hold on. I don't know, I need to put my hair up because this is kind of like redonkulous, like it's my big ass head. Okay. So I put warm water in it, so hopefully it makes it hits smoother. That was a nice hit. That was nice. But anyways, so I want to talk about right and wrong. First of all, I want to say that I personally don't believe in a objective right or wrong or like universal law, like moral law. I don't know if any of you guys are into ethics, but there's a concept in ethics. I think it's called like universal law, or something like that. I studied it in college, but I smoke a lot of pot, so it's kind of hard to remember. Um, anyways, I don't agree with that simply because of the law of polarity, which can be found in the modern version is found in the 12 universal laws. Law of polarity is one of the 12 universal laws, but I say that's the modern version because what came before was the Hermetic Principles by Trismegistus or Thoth, however you might know him, person who wrote the Emerald Tablets. And if you don't know any of that, then I highly suggest you look it up because it's really interesting and profound and super helpful. And I think that the Hermetic Principles are better than the universal laws because it's more condensed and better explained. But that's just my opinion. So, anyways, with the law of polarity, suggests that everything is on a sliding scale. Everything has an opposite, and nothing can be. My cat is deciding to join us today. Um, but nothing can be true or can exist without the opposite of the spectrum also existing or being true, right? And there's like a sliding scale of in between, right? So that truth is a sliding scale. Fact, or like right or wrong, is a sliding scale. What is right for one person might not be right for another person, but more so like, I don't want to explain this. Okay, well, that's kind of like a theory though. One truth cannot exist without the opposite also being true. So let's just take like daylight and nighttime, right? I know this has almost nothing to do with truth, but we wouldn't know daylight without nighttime, and we wouldn't know nighttime without daylight. Neither one can exist without the other. Neither one can be experienced without the other. Not in a conscious level, at least, right? So a more thing, that example that has more to do with something being right or wrong. Okay, so smoking. Let's just go with like pot smoking, right? It's right for some people, it's wrong for others. Um, but both are true, because first of all, it's an individual experience. So if you say that smoking pot is like terrible for you and not good, then that is very true for you. And the opposite is going to be true for somebody else. And if the opposite wasn't true, then what that person just said about pot being terrible is not true, right? You see where I'm going with this? One thing cannot be true without the other thing also being true, because the opposites like um amplify it, right? We can't experience it without an opposite also existing. Yeah. Let's take it out of my head. So he's so fucking cute. Yeah, I love my cat. I fucking love my cat. Okay, anyways, so I had a theory. I was thinking about how I could explain this in a simple way, in layman's terms, maybe, but I don't think that I was successful in coming up with layman terms. But I do have a theory, okay? Because I was thinking about the color wheel, right? And how obviously each color has an opposite on the color wheel. And I was saying, can green exist without red? Colors, like literally everything else, is a vibration, right? And we perceive it because of the vibration. Like what we perceive is based on the intensity of the vibration. I'm sorry, I'm very entertained by this, but um, the color we perceive is based on the vibration that it is, or like the wavelength, the yeah, that is happening. So, if that's the case, and matter and energy or whatever cannot ever be created or destroyed, that must mean that the wavelengths that we see when we see color are all the same wavelength at different intensities or different frequencies, right? So then that means that green and red cannot exist without each other, much like any other color on the color wheel cannot exist without the other color existing, because if the other color didn't exist, then the wavelength wouldn't exist. And since it's all the same wavelength but different intensities, none of them would exist if one or two also didn't exist, like if the opposites didn't exist, right? And I say specifically opposites because if you think of like red and burnt orange, they're very similar, or red and pink, also similar, right? And I don't think that they're similar, but a lot of people will look at certain things and be like, oh, it's red, or it's pink, or it's a burnt orange, or amber, whatever the fuck. We all see slightly different things when we're looking at a color, which tells me that if that color, like if you sat red and amber next to each other, or red and burnt orange next to each other, and burnt orange just didn't exist, red would still exist because that frequency or that wavelength is very similar to orange. Basically, they're the same thing. Like, they're very, very close to being the same thing, which means without, if that wavelength, if the orange wavelength didn't exist, then red could still exist. But that's just a theory. But, okay, okay, but with that being said, then maybe green can exist without red because no, I feel like I want to stick to my earlier argument of like, but maybe it's just like a frequency that doesn't exist, like a wavelength that just doesn't exist. If green didn't exist, then it'd just be a wavelength that didn't exist, but the rest of the colors would still exist because, but no, because let's take another hit. I'm gonna think about this because I'm very curious about this thought process, right? And how it ties into the law of polarity, right? But then again, I guess we shouldn't even think about things like, or shouldn't even talk about things not existing because the thing is they do exist, right? So what we're trying to do, or what I'm trying to do, is explain what already exists, not what could be, or not. It couldn't be because it doesn't exist. So, um, okay, that helps. Hold on. Okay, I thought I was gonna sneeze or something. Okay. I feel a cough. Okay. Okay. So I gotta stick to the small hits because the coughing is gonna happen if I take big hits. I love you too, Spooky. Okay, so these hermetic principles or universal laws only apply to things that exist. They are used to explain what already exists. So the fact of the matter is, green and red are like on a spectrum, on a scale, like they exist within the law of polarity. That makes sense. Like the opposite is true, the opposite is existing, and that is a great example of the law of polarity, red and green. I'm holding red, I'm holding green, I'm pitting them like parallel to each other, and just imagine a little sliding scale connecting both of them. Great example of the law of polarity and how it works, and how both things, even though they're exact opposite, are true and exist. They have to, because that's how things work, right? But then again, does that mean that no, okay, I think things having to exist or things having to work this way has nothing to do with right and wrong, right? Because it just is. Maybe right and wrong is only applied to things that aren't just is. Just are, you know? Or I don't think that right and wrong should be applied to things that just are. Like, for instance, with good and bad, people say that good is right and bad is wrong, right? But the thing about good and bad is that it's very relative to the individual, to the society, to the community, to the people experiencing whatever we're calling right, good or bad, right? So right or wrong can't be applied to good or bad, but like if you were to say that it's daytime in this area that I'm in right now, that would be right, but it's only right because nighttime exists. I don't know. I'm just fucking spitballing here, but I'm having a fucking blast. And I hope you guys are enjoying this too. What time? It's 15 minutes in. Okay. Yeah, I'm just like, this is fun. This is what's going on in my brain almost 24/7. I'm just a philosopher. And I don't even know if any of that made sense, but you know, it's thought vomit, so I'm vomiting my thoughts and you do with it what you please, what you will. And since it's on YouTube, you guys can comment, which is great. Like, I want to hear your thoughts on the little different things that I said, because, yeah, I want it to be expanded upon. So, definitely feel free to comment and expand upon my thoughts or challenge them. Um, but anyways, I guess this episode was really just about like the law of polarity and kind of how it works. But I really wanted to zoom in on the fact that both things are right. If it's opposites, then they're both right. Like if I say that it's the answer is 24 and you say no, that's terrible because math is one of those things that it just is. You know, you can't really change it and you can't have an opinion on it. Okay, so let's use opinions. With an opinion, both opinions are right. Okay? If I see red and someone else sees pink, we're both right. Um, right, even though we might say that one of us is wrong, that literally can't be. Both of us have to be right because with because of the law of polarity, because both truths have to exist in order for one of them to be true. You know, like, yeah, I don't know if there's any other way I could put that. Both truths have to exist in order for one of them to be true, right? Which makes them both true. Because they both exist in the realm of truth, if truth was like a realm. But anyway, I'm gonna cut this one and probably record another one because I could keep going on for forever about a multitude of different things, but I don't wanna. I gotta finish my pot, you know, so I'm gonna record a few more episodes. I got kind of distracted talking on this one, but definitely feeling a nice little mellow high. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching and joining and listening or whatever. I hope that you gained something from it. I know I did. If you have any thoughts or comments or whatever, feel free to put them down below in the comment section. And stay tuned for more videos and episodes. And let me know what you think and all that. Again, I'm Sunny. This is Thought Vomit. Yeah.